Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese. This is their part number 103D, is what it is. This is a, well, it'd be an Astragal, most definitely. If you installed it vertically, it would be a door sweep as well. Smart little item using it as a door sweep. What I mean is it's elegant in the fact that it's very small in its overall size. You know, it doesn't really detract very much from the bottom of the door at all. It has a very durable neoprene seal that's here. That's held on with adhesive. Okay, they're then going to drill holes. This is just obviously a 10-inch sample piece, but holes would be drilled in here as well, and that would go through the insert that's held on with adhesive when it comes from the factory, okay, which is a very durable, rigid plastic insert that's here holding the neoprene in. You won't cut it with an X-Acto type blade. You'll need proper end cutters, really. Very durable. And neoprene is, this is I believe a closed cell neoprene. Might be open cell. I'm going to take a little closer look at it. Yeah, I'd say open cell, which is going to be very good for attenuation of temperature and of sound. I think it would not be considered waterproof like a diving suit would be or a car tire would be, but you know, water's not going to infiltrate through here as a result of it being open cell. And the image from the factory kind of infers that it's open cell as well. Open cell just has small little air pockets, good for attenuation of sound and, of course, the transmission with those air pockets. Okay. Now, dimensionally, overall height of this item, and there's an image down below. They say that, well, they don't tell us that. Well, they do. It's 1/16 overall height. Okay. You have 9/16 worth of holder and then 1/2 inch worth of insert material. Using it as an Astragal, the proper term would likely be a split Astragal. Split Astragal means that you're putting one on each door. It's an industry term when you have a split Astragal. So if I say an Astragal, it means that you have something attached to one or the other or to both doors in a pair of doors. You don't have to use an Astragal in a pair of doors. You could use an Astragal in a single door for a different purpose. But when you say split Astragal, that's telling us there's something happening on each side of the door. So in this sort of piece of gasketing here, you could have a split Astragal where that means I'm going to put this one on this door, this one on this door, and these two little fins are going to make contact and give me that seal, as is shown in the image down below. So that's a split Astragal. You could also use it, you know, Astragals are also used in single doors where they want to have a continuous closing of the gap between the edge of the door and the jamb on the lock side so that no lloyding can happen in there. You know, you can use an Astragal there as well. There are different types of Astragals, and the term means different things based on the application. But split Astragal allows us to understand, okay, you're referring to gasketing, and you want one on each door. You wouldn't hear of a pair of wood doors with a H-shaped edge Astragal and then a U-shaped edge Astragal mounted on each door and call those a split Astragal. They're not. It's an Astragal set, but you wouldn't call it a split Astragal because there aren't two parts that will come together to, well, there are two parts, I suppose, in that. So struggling with a proper definition, I would have to say that the term split is just not used when it comes to completing the installation of a pair of wood or steel doors. When it comes to the aspect of incorporating it with hardware, closing the gap based on code would be very appropriately applied to the wood door application when you have fire doors. So, a split Astragal, the only time I've ever seen it used is in reference to gasketing. I really like the small nature of the unit. Certainly for an Astragal, I don't want to see a lot of hardware on the face of the door, but also on the bottom of the door as well. So really neat. So the D in the part number, that means dark bronze. This is a beautiful dark bronze anodized finish from Reese, it is on the lighter end of the spectrum. So we've got Reese and we've got other companies that are right of center and then far right of center when it comes to the tone of dark bronze. This will be in my opinion, this is actual dark bronze. The other manufacturers that are right of center and then far right of center, they're extra dark. A, B, approaching black, and none of them are black. But this, when you look at this, you'll say to yourself, that's clearly not black. It happens to be against something that's black, so we can tell. If I pulled that off, you could still look at it and say, well, you know, that's not black. Other manufacturers' material, it's hard to distinguish something until you hold it up to something that's known to be black. The reason I say that is use Reese dark bronze when you're looking to match an actual dark bronze, a golden brown dark bronze, rather than a very polarized dark bronze, very deep dark bronze that doesn't have any brown tone hardly in it at all. If you're matching oil rubbed bronze, like a 613 finish, I would say anything from Reese would be an excellent choice, and I will use it exclusively when I want to match a true oil rubbed finish like a 613, and we're not doing solid architectural bronze weather stripping. So really good in that regard. Now, this is listed in the site in lots of different lengths, probably 2 foot to 8 foot. You can have it in any length that you really want, likely up to 16.5 foot. And that's only restricted by the length of the extrusion. But keep in mind, as you go longer in length, that cost to ship really goes up. You know, so the cost to ship on the y-axis, the longer length on the x-axis, and it just like that. So don't order 8-foot pieces saying, yeah, I'll just cut them down to the sizes I need. No, order the sizes you need. And that's advantageous from the shipping cost perspective. Also, the factory is going to give you a really clean edge when they cut them down. And if this was the genuine article, it would have a hole at 3 or 4 inches from the edge for the fastener. And the fastener would be in a complementary finish as well. You won't have to pre-drill another hole for a fastener if you order them to length. If you're doing 3-foot doors and the doors swing in, you don't need 36 inch. Okay, so don't order them 36 inch. Order them the size you need, which very likely is going to be 34 and 5/8 would be my guess. If you've got a hollow metal frame, in-swing door, 5/8 stop projection, 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch on either side. If it's an out-swing door, if it's 3 foot, you don't need 36 inch. You probably need 35 and 13/16 or 3/4. So let the factory do the cutting. Literally, they're cutting it anyway, so why cut it twice? Let's switch to the screen view now and take a closer look at some supporting documentation. Here is the item that we are indeed looking at. Gives you a cross-section type of profile. That screw will hold the unit in permanently, and it's held on temporarily with just adhesive, which is typical. It will include 6x5/8 panhead screws. They say that it will come with slotted holes. I don't know that it necessarily will on such a small extrusion, but they say that it does, so it ought to. If you're going to install these on fire-rated doors, be sure to specify this in the comment field so that there's a paper trail that the material used on the opening is approved for use on fire doors. When used as an Astragal or a split Astragal, you've got to order 2. These are priced and sold per each. Now, there is a product brochure here. The 103 is on page 2 of 3, and that tells us that it is neoprene, aluminum here, 3 finishes: clear anodized aluminum, dark bronze anodized aluminum, and then gold anodized aluminum. Okay. Now, on this product brochure, you'll find other items that act as Astragals, or door sweeps for that matter. So it's interesting to be able to look at the rest of these and have an idea of what other options are available from Reese. Now, speaking of that, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Reese products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. One thing that I would point out to you is that they have a chart in here when it comes to STC ratings. sound transmission control, if you do a find function on your keyboard for STC, you'll find a chart here that basically says if you want to hit this particular STC rating, and the higher the number, the more stringent the rating is, this would be what you would use, the horizontal line. Really helpful, really handy. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. I would very much encourage you to review the Reese product line for a number of reasons. In no particular order, exceptional technical support, which is the same as customer service, because their customer service people are extremely knowledgeable. The best shipping lead times in the industry when it comes to weather stripping, period. They have a minimum order, which is listed on the page. You know, if you need something that falls below that, and you're in construction, sooner or later you're going to need a threshold or a door sweep, I would suggest that you just add some of that to it to hit that order, and they ship very well. The product, when it arrives to you, is very clean. It's not dusty. As a general rule, it's not scratched. It looks like it's not been sitting around for a decade, especially the dark bronze, which is the bane, I think, of weather stripping manufacturers, because that material is always scratched and damaged. When they pull those extrusions off their giant shelves, they're scratching it, you know. And I get that. If you've got a 16-foot extrusion, it's, you know, picking it up and holding it with, 3-foot distance between your hands. I understand that. So there's a lot of sliding happening. The trouble is this: you paid for dark bronze, not scratched dark bronze. Okay, that's the bottom line. Reese does an exceptional job when it comes to that. And finally, if you look at some of their extrusions in the catalog, what always impresses me is that their material feels heavier, and that's because when I put it on the scale, it's heavier than their competition. There's more aluminum that's involved, absolutely. Finally, they have a pretty decent offering of polyurethane. When it comes to inserts, you've got vinyl, silicone, pile, neoprene, polyurethane, other derivatives of the synthetic rubber. Polyurethane is exceptional when it comes to retarding the growth of fungus, mildew, bacteria, highly abrasion resistant, extremely capable in a broad range of temperatures, etc. It's of course the most expensive, but it's hands down the most durable in all instances, and still very flexible. Any questions on the 103D sweep or Astragal from Reese or any other Reese product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.